Hey guys, welcome to today's deep dive session. My name is John Crute, and today's topic I wanted to gear towards some of the ladies out there. So, obviously, when you're dating, it's important to have a set of criteria and standards about what you're looking for, right? Like anything, whether it's a job, whether it's a home, whether it's anything that you're looking for yourself, something that kind of fits into your world. What is the criteria that needs to be met, you know, for magic to happen? So, what I wanted to address was some of the ladies out there when it comes to some of the criteria that's kind of being out there. And I've heard lots of feedback from different guys. I've witnessed and seen myself. A lot of women want princess treatment and want to be treated well and all this different stuff. And we have all kinds of conversations about the good boy, bad boy kind of thing and what women's preferences are. And so I've seen where a man shows attentiveness and is responsive. And there's a lot of times where women will feel like, oh, he's too available, he's too much, or he's too interested, and it turns me off. There's no mystery, and there's no this, and there's no that. So there's this fine line between what you're asking for. For example, some of the ladies that want that princess treatment, right? They'll say they want a man to be in his masculine energy in order for you to reveal your feminine energy, the sword and the stone, if you will, right? So, so you're looking for the King Arthur in your life that's going to be able to pull this sword out of the stone. And the reality is it's like a lion saying, hey, if you want me to be a kitty cat, you have to pet me on the head properly and feed me 5 times a day and do this particular thing, and then I'll be this kitty cat or I'll be a puppy for you. And it's not how it works. You are who you are. So I think there's a false illusion around a lot of ladies who kind of feel like there's this level of criteria and hoops that a man needs to jump through to make you become something that you haven't even had practice at being. So chances are, if you've gone the last 5 years, 10 years, 20 years of your life, and you have yet to find this King Arthur of yours that's going to pull this sword out of the stone, might be the stone. I don't know. It's not a magical solution that you really need to be looking for. It's like, who are you? Who do you want to be, with or without this guy? Who are you? So if it's a matter of you putting on this kind of act, this show, this guy making you feel some kind of particular way, I think there's a little bit too much emphasis and responsibility placed on the fellas on what we need to do to make you become something. At the end of the day, we can all choose to go to college, get an education to meet certain criteria that we need to meet for a job that you may or may not like or be passionate about. But nonetheless, you put that work in and you learn what you need to learn. You become who you need to become to be successful in that arena. So in a stance of a relationship, you can choose to do whatever you like. You can be whoever you like. However, just like for myself, if there's criteria for me, I want to come to the table and be who I am. I consider myself a gentleman. I consider myself a responsible man. Family oriented. I can go down the list of a lot of different qualities, but that's not dependent. It's not conditional on the woman, right? So there are times where I can come to the table and be somebody and she doesn't know how to appreciate that, right? I'm not going to say, well, I'm looking for a woman who can bring out this side in me. But till then, I'm not going to bring this side to the table. Who I am as a man, being a man, is I'm going to be me, with or without you, right? And so I'm looking, where are the ladies that are like, I'm going to be me, with or without you? I'm going to have this feminine energy, with or without you. I'm going to be caring, loving, compassionate. You can still be strong. You can still have all these different qualities, have a mind, right? You make executive decisions in life. We all do, on what's best for us. There are gambles and there's rolls of the dice and everything. There's risk involved in everything. There's risk involved in any decision you make in life. So when you are dating, while there's risk involved, you have to make calculated risk. So when you do share of yourself, or you divulge certain information, or and you're building some kind of foundation there's risk in it. If it all works out in the end, it's a beautiful thing. If it doesn't, that's part of the got to pay to play, right? And so it happens to both sides. And so, with that said, ladies, be considerate in terms of, take some time to kind of think about some of those expectations, some of those requirements. Some of these guys are willing to go out of their way and treat you as sweet and nice and want to do things. I personally have had conversations with lots of men who want to do more, want to be sweeter and stuff like that, but at the expense of, they feel that the risk is, this woman's not going to respect me. This woman's going to look at me like I'm a pushover or I'm soft or I'm, this, that, and the other. And so you can't have your cake and eat it too. And I get it, because I've heard with my own ears, some ladies out there, they want that cake and eat it too. They're going to get this guy, and they also want this secure guy over here that's going to be, doing all these different things for them. So you can't have it both ways. You have to look in the mirror and you have to examine yourself and say, okay, well, you can ask for what you want, but when you get what you want, is it really what you wanted? Is it something that, have you been prepared and know how to respond? Do you know how to nurture and cherish that? And I think that, there's a lot of ladies that make a lot of excuses, whether it's from personal experiences or sometimes I've seen where a lot of women will adopt issues from different friends that they're around that may have drama and issues in their relationships. And so they in turn feel like, well, I'm learning in life. I'm learning from someone else. Be mindful of who you listen to, right? This goes for both men and women. Be mindful of who you listen to in life, because there are people that have influence on you, just like social media has influences on people in different respects and regards. So whatever your interests are, there's information out there to cater to that thought. And you got to be careful what you feed, because it will turn into a monster. So whether you're paranoid, whether you have anxiety, whether you feel like someone's always after you, somebody's taking advantage of you, there are women that think that men are just after them for, their bodies or whatever it is. There are women that test guys and do different types of tests that really make them look like they're putting themselves out there, and then they act surprised about the response. So it's like if you go out the house and you got your breasts out and it's just like everything's all shoved up into your throat, and then you're doing your best to try to get some attention, and the guy looks, you're like, look at him. See, I know what he's looking at. I know what he's after. It's like, did you expect anything different? So it's like, if that's the look you're going for, then embrace that look. Embrace all the looks that you're going to get. Embrace all the attention that you're going to get. But stop playing this game where you're playing this victim. You want to be a victim, and at the same time, you're seeking this attention. You're seeking this validation. You can't play on both sides of the fence. And it's the most confusing thing. And I think when we talk about that pee in the dating pool, I think this is one of those things that causes some of the pee in the dating pool, because it creates delusion. You're not being realistic about what it is you want. You're not fully sure what you want. Some of you out there want to taste this cupcake and taste that cookie and taste this cookie and taste that cookie. And all of these cookies are having influences on you. Your blood sugar level, if it was medical, it's just like you got diabetes. You've been tasting all kinds of different flavors. You don't have a clue what it is. Like you've done so much that you're desensitized to something when it's special, when something's unique. You almost don't even feel like you're worthy or deserve it. And so you don't cherish or pride yourself in certain things. So that's all I wanted to say today. Hope y'all have a great day out there. Y'all take care. Like and subscribe.